hello all and welcome, and can I start by wishing you all a very happy and prosperous new year. And also, I don't know whether any of you have done any New Year's resolutions or whatever. This is just a thought. There is a pun, but I'm just planting a seed. Did you like that? Hey, that was good. Some of you may struggle with regards to growing leeks, cabbage, whatever. And maybe in the past you've decided, you've tried it and you think, no, never again. Well, this year, rather than thinking, well, what if, and maybe if, and could I, and do you think it would, you know, get and do it. If there's something that you've not grown before and you're thinking of having a go, get and have a go. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this world of YouTube is a brilliant place for getting any help, any advice, information and so on. Last year I struggled with, well, not last year, sorry, the year before I struggled with onions. Last year I had a serious go at growing onions from seed, and it paid off. Now that was through having some help and advice of people like Andy 160676. You were a real star, real help, Andy, thank you. And also Nigel Muddy Boots, 10 out of 10 to you, sir. And others all helped out, and I reckon if you're in any doubts, then get and have a go. I've got a few things that I want to show you here. This is a classic example of some of the things I've had for Christmas. It's a 2022 diary with regards a veg gardener's diary. That's great little, gonna come in really handy, that is. That's gonna be a great bit of kit, that. Diary, or sorry, calendar for 22-23. We then have January, monthly to-do list. Again, the calendar itself. One or two little nice things here. This is good. Expenses, items, price, a wish list with regards what tools you might want and how much. That's quite good. And of course your seeds. Then it goes, hang on, then a page then to draw out the plot, and then plan out obviously what you're growing and where. That's quite good. Then go into February and similar sort of thing with regards, again, the plot. As we go further into it, here we go. Now we're starting to get into, well, like I say, February. You've got the calendar itself, you've got your dates, what you've, with regards harvest, sown indoor, sown outdoor, planted, and then the days of the week with regards to what you've watered, harvested, and so on. Whether you've used any pest control as well. And all in all, it's quite good. It's basically the same layout all the way through. And yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Another little thing that I've had here is some plant labels. These are bamboo, and they've come with little marker pen. There's 30 of these here in this box. That's hello. You want to have a nose as well. I always get some unnecessary assistance. Don't I? From Beautiful. Right, down you go. No, go down. A couple of grow kits that I've got here as well. Thompson & Morgan Microgreens grow kit. This is the aromatic one. They do, I don't know whether it actually, no, it doesn't show you on here, but this, I'll show you with what you get in these. Obviously the seeds, and you've got chives, rocket, and we've got some red mustard, some Mizuna, and some ordinary mustard with the microgreens there. I've got the koi pellets and the compostable pots. I shan't be using these for that because I use little black tray for that. A few instructions, few being the word, some little labels and some cutters when you're harvesting, when you're actually harvesting. So that's all good stuff, but like I say, I won't use those pots for that. I'm going to do them in my normal little black trays. Bonsai starter trio kit. Now I've had one of these before, and yes, I've had disaster, but as I was saying earlier about give it a go, and that's what I'm going to do. And again, koi pellets for that. Nice little book, I had to read through that with some information. Again, compostable pots, which I shall probably use for this. The little bags, resealable bags, because basically the gist of it is you put one of these pellets into one of these pots, put it into a dish of some sort, and you pour 100 ml of water onto that pot or onto that pellet so it expands, and then you can sow direct into that. You got labels for the plants, and also the obvious with regards to seeds, the 3 different lots of seed. So we're going to give them a go. As I've already said, and yes, fear of repeating myself, I've tried this before, I've failed, but I'm not going to let it beat me. I'm going to have a go. Another thing I'm going to have a go at doing as well, which I've had a little bit of success at, is some cacti. Now I've got something else. I've got these are all, obviously these are all presents that have been given to me for Christmas. I've got one down here, and this is exactly how it was given to me. There we go, in a bag, and it was like, And when I was given it, I was told, you've had to have it like that, because I didn't know how to wrap it. And when I look and I think, oh yeah, I can see why. And what is it I've got? Well, these spikes, hooked, a bit like a shepherd's crook, spikes. They're in there because what I've got with it is they're slate plant markers. Now what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to use these out on the plot, but rather than, like if I'm doing beetroot and I've got Solandra or Boltardi or anything like that, what I'm going to do is just write beetroot and put it at the end of the row, carrots end of the row, you know, so on, just so it's a generic, a general sort of label really. It has got in here special marker pen as well, to write wet erase, so I'm assuming that's got to be somewhat permanent, otherwise it's going to come off in the rain. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you one or two little things that I've had for Christmas, and you will see how I progress with these as the year goes on. Well, that's the first time this year come through the gate. I've brought kitchen waste to go into the compost bin and bird seed to top up the bird feeders. So let's go on up to the plot and feed the birds. So here we are on the plot, so let's get and feed the birds. Right, I can't really say a great deal about feeding the birds as such. As you can see here, I've got some feeders in actually hanging in the tree. Seemed as good a thing as any, good a place as any to put them. Just have them, use the tree as support, as it were. The ground is really wet. I've just come round here now and it's where I'm actually stood is very, very wet, and I can just feel it spitting a little. Now the one thing I haven't got is any fat balls. So I'm gonna go and get those a little bit later today. I suppose I could have waited till I'd got them before I come round, but the wife's popped out. She's got the car, she's popped out. So I'm using this opportunity to get and top the bird feeders up while I can. It's just, I can just feel a bit of drizzle in the air. I don't know whether it's going to show up on camera lens. I don't know. Well, there we have it. That's the birds fed. Now we'll get and put the compost or the kitchen waste into my compost bin. I'll show you a little bit of what is actually in here before I tip it in. Right, so what have I got in here? Well, in here is the normal kitchen waste that you would expect. I don't know whether you can see, but there is potato peel, carrot peel, all that usual sort of stuff. There's eggshell that's been shredded. There is also tea. I've opened up tea bags, put that in, and also we use kitchen roll that has got no print on it. We use just the plain white kitchen roll, and where possible, besides adding other paper to this to the compost bins, in here as well is some of that kitchen roll. It's a really nice, that'll break down quickly really nicely now, that will, in the compost bins. Okay, so I'll take the lid off that bin and tip this in. Just spread that out a little. There we go. There we are. All done. Well, that's it for this one. The first video of 2022. Hopefully the first of many, and hopefully the first of many that you will all enjoy. As you've seen with feeding the birds, I've put some out on top of this compost bin here. I've filled these little trays. I will put some on some of these beds that are covered, because I'm thinking of birds like blackbirds and robins that sort of forage, ground feeders really. So I'll put a little bit scattered on one or two of these beds on there for them. And it's an important thing. We need to, it's something that a lad that I work with, Alex, if you're watching, Happy New Year to you. He does this sort of thing round about this time of year, and he always says about how, you know, it takes a week or so for the birds to start to come onto the feeder. I feed the birds all year round. Some people might say, oh yeah, that's not the right thing to do. The birds become reliant on what you're putting out, and maybe they're right. Information that I've read off RSPB website and other sites suggests that feeding all year round doesn't do any harm. The birds, I've noticed myself over the years that I've done this, these feeders in the summer don't need topping up as often as they do this time of year, because in the summer there's all various natural food that the birds will go to first before coming to any of these feeders. So I do it all year round. It gives the birds a, shall we say, a last resort feeding area if needs be, if things get hard or so on. There's lots of birds. There's some birds in these bushes here now waiting for me to do a runner so they can fill their bellies. So I'll finish there. As I say, thank you all very much for watching. Really is very, very much appreciated. So be good, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra a bit.